expectations. The first thing is don't take up the entire hallway because then no one has room to walk if you do. The next thing is don't go ahead of your teacher if she doesn't say. You could get lost in the school. Third is don't be loud because you will disturb other classes in the hall, like Miss Phillips, our computer teacher. Be safe and respectful in the halls because you could be disturbing other classes if you do. If you are not safe, you could hurt yourself or others. Lastly, it is so important to pay attention because you could hit someone by accident and still hurt them badly. I've had a spectacular time teaching you about hallway safety. Now back to the studio. 3, 2.
Hello, I'll be interviewing Mrs. Mass today. First question, how do you think we should act in art?
I think in art, one of the most important things to remember is to take risks and try new things. So maybe you never painted the way that we're painting that day in class, but it's important to be brave enough to try it the first time. You might surprise yourself. It's also really important to be responsible in art and take care of our materials the right way.
Okay. What kind of responsible acts should we be doing in art?
Art has a lot of ways that we could accidentally make mistakes or messes. Mistakes are fine, messes are fine, but if you're being responsible and using the rules that we've talked about throughout the year, chances are we'll have less messes. And if you make a mess, the most important thing is that you what? What do you think? What do you do when you make a mess?
Clean up.
You weren't ready for me to ask you a question, were you?
No, I wasn't. I was expecting that.
All right, that's what I would say.
How do you think we should act in art when walking in the classroom?
Walking in the classroom. Always walking in the art room. So I know we're always excited to get to a related arts class, and you've been in the hall where you've got to stay quiet and calm, and you get in here and you're just kind of like a burst of energy. But we always start on the carpet. I'm not sure about how it is everywhere else, but so we walk in. You never know, maybe the class before you left a water spill, and we don't want anybody to slip and fall.
Yes. How should we act with materials?
Paintbrushes are something that I think we forget a lot about. I find a lot of messy paintbrushes, or paintbrushes having a bad hair day because people have used them the wrong way. So we have to make sure to use them the right way when we clean them out. Do you remember how we put the paintbrushes back in the paintbrush container?
Yes, you put it straight with like the...
What needs to be sticking up?
the stem, whatever it's called.
The hair. We don't want the hair to go down.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it'll get ruined. And I want to spend our money on fun things like clay and not new paintbrushes.
Yeah. How do we clean up while being responsible?
Same thing with the paintbrushes. Another thing that we could work on is in here we have a recycling bin and a trash bin. And I'm still learning exactly what goes where. Sometimes Mr. Nate gets me about that because I forget and put paper towels in the wrong place. But you kids actually know more about that than me. So help me remember that the trash goes in the trash and recycling materials can go in recycling. If you make a mess, you need to...
You clean up.
Very good.
That is all. Thank you for having us, Mrs. Mass.
Thank you so much.
Our Tigers of the Month. big trick-or-treat night? Raise your hand if you were very safe last night. Great. Raise your hand if you got a bubble